You know, the bond between a father and a daughter is sacred.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
It's a paternal relationship forged through honesty and trust.
Is there unending commentary on the female form?
No. I've known my father obviously my whole life, and he has total respect for women.
But that bond between Donald and Ivanka, well, that's very complicated, and it may have just gotten more so just this weekend. We know in Donald's world, of course, loyalty remains the most valuable asset.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
But did Ivanka and her husband poke Donald right in the eye just over the weekend? Well, in our featured story today, we have the details of an event that occurred that could very well bum out her mogul amorous dad and may well mess up his oligarch's dance card at next month's inaugural ball.
So some of these companies which made January 6 related pledges, and they include Goldman Sachs, General Motors, Bank of America, they're now each giving $1 million to the inauguration. Do you see this as anything less than a pay-to-play kind of move? I mean, what does it indicate about how corporate America expects its relationship with the incoming administration to play out?
Well, I mean, it's first of all, I mean, it's a little quaint to even talk about, norms and so forth and pay to play. I mean, this is obviously a completely different universe than what we were all experiencing 4 years ago, almost to the day, this year.
Now, before we whisk you away to the opulent scene of a potential conflict of interest between related narcissists, let's take a quick look back at some of the past cracks in the Trump family tower.
New this morning, increasingly strained relationships within the Trump family. This is a fascinating story. CNN learning that the two people closest to the former president during his time in office, Ivanka and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, they actually have been distancing themselves from Trump and his constant grievances about the, quote, stolen election. And CNN White House correspondent Kate Bennett is here with the details. Okay, why is this happening, Kate?
Well, I mean, I think just like you said, this is clearly a former president who cannot move on, who continues to talk about, everything from who portrayed him on a late night comedy sketch show to the election that he still claims was not accurate. So Jared and Ivanka were with him all the time, so much so that they coined the Javanka term. And this is very interesting. They do not want to be around, nor do they want to be in the orbit of this continued sort of not being able to move on, not being able to let go. And they've made a very calculated and thoughtful decision to back away and not spend as much time with the former president, who, of course, also happens to be Ivanka's father and Jared Kushner's father-in-law. They've really put some distance and also physical distance. Remember, Jared and Ivanka moved to Florida after the election to South Florida, where they're not too far from Mar-a-Lago, where the former president lived. Up until recently, he switched to a summer home in Bedminster, New Jersey. But, there were no sightings. There weren't any, extended stays at Mar-a-Lago as there had been in years past. So clearly, this is a relationship that has changed dramatically since the end of the Trump administration.
Today's report comes direct from Aspen, Colorado, where Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka was reportedly spotted at a party thrown by one of her father's longtime rivals.
What's interesting about Bezos is he is very close to becoming the richest man in the world. That's going to make him a target, not just for Trump, but for lots of other people looking at what he's doing with his wealth and what Amazon is doing.
It's not just going after the media and, trying to threatening retribution for people who scrutinize him. Saying that he might lock up his opponent if he wins erodes our democracy around the edges. These aren't acceptable behavior.
Ivanka, who largely stayed out of the political fray while the former and incoming president was running for his second term, was spotted at billionaire Jeff Bezos' star-studded Aspen dinner, according to the Daily Mail. Bezos has a complicated relationship with the president-elect. Although he has recently donated money to Trump's causes, the Amazon executive chairman has previously been critical of Trump. Last year, one website reported that Ivanka and Jared Kushner would soon have Bezos as a neighbor, and Bezos was described as one of Donald Trump's longtime rivals. Well, this just got awkward, wrote Delilah Gray, The trending news editor for SheKnows.com. In case you missed it, she says Jeff Bezos reportedly purchased a $68 million home located in Indian Creek, which is located in Dade, Miami County, where Ivanka and Jared Kushner live. This fraught relationship between Trump and Bezos has at least appeared to be more strained in the last several months, since Trump has grown even closer to fellow billionaire and frequent Bezos critic, Elon Musk. And possibly that's the reason why Ivanka and Jared are pursuing a more open public relationship among the squillionaire elite. Because it seems a natural reaction to learning that you may not actually be the apple of daddy's eye anymore.
Why don't we do a family shot?
Elon, Ivanka. You have to have a picture with your boy. Yeah. We have to get Elon with his boy.
Okay. Absolutely.
A gorgeous, perfect
Tristan's
boy.
almost enough.
Ouch.